Hi, my name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. As you know, our firm has a primary focus on family law. Please subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to talk about change of domicile and how does one prevail in a change of domicile case. So the scenario is this. Two people have custody of a child. They either get divorced or they were never married, they have a custody order, and the person who has custody of the child all of a sudden decides he wants to change the domicile. She wants to move to another state. He wants to take a job which is going to force a move. How do you do it? Well, you have to understand one thing. It's the judge that decides what the domicile of that child is. So even though you have custody, you still have to file an appropriate motion before the court to change the domicile of the child so that you will be in a situation where nobody can complain that you moved the child away or out of state without court knowledge, without court consent, because if you do that, the court could very well order that child returned. You don't want to have to do that. So, what do? Well, the first thing we do is file an appropriate motion to change the domicile. And in order to do that, the court is going to conduct an evidentiary hearing to determine whether the child should move. Is it in the best interest of the child to change from Michigan to New York or wherever you're going? Well, in order to have that, in order to prevail in that case, you're going to have to file a very extensive motion detailing the advantages and how it's in the best interest of the minor child to make the change. So when we do these, for example, in our firm here at Goldman and Associates, we're going to file a motion, and it's not going to be a one-pager. It's going to be an inch thick, and it's going to cross-reference the different schools, for example. This is the existing school. This is where the child will go to school. These are award-winning. This is better for the kid. We're going to do an analysis, a comparative analysis of where the child will live, what the crime rates are, what are the possibilities the child will be closer to family if they move. All of these things taken into account so that the court has an understanding of why it makes sense to make the move. If you're going to go in there and say, Judge, I want to change domicile because I got a better job, or I want to change domicile because my family lives out there, be prepared for the court to say, I don't think so. You're staying. Why? Because the change of domicile is a grace. The court doesn't owe it to you. Change of domicile is a huge deal because when you move, you're necessarily interfering with the court's prior ordered parenting time schedule. If you're going to do that and ask the court to allow it, you're going to have to come up with a real good reason that's not based on what's advantageous to you, but what's in the best interest of, you guessed it, the minor child. If you have any questions about that, reach out. Of course, we'll be glad to help you out.